If you're having a hard time coming up with t-shirt designs for print on demand, this is the video for you. I'm going to share with you my 7-step research method, and this can be used for any niche. I'm going to do it for Halloween in this case, but don't worry, you can use these methods for any niche that you want out there, depending on what holiday you want or any occupation or whatever it is. Follow these steps, and this will help you get designs that are more likely to sell than if you just came up with random things. Let's go. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me on this video. My name is Juno with Detour Shirts. In this video, I'm going to teach you my 7-step research method that I came up with. Here's what it looks like right here. I'm going to go over it step by step, and I'm going to use Halloween as the niche. You can use any niche that you want, but since it's close to Halloween, I'm going to show you how to do this to come up with lots of different ideas for Halloween. So this is very timely. You can use any of these ideas for yourself. I'm not going to show you how to design, which is the last part, to create a design. I have lots of things on my channel to learn how to do designs and come up with designs. This is just how to generate different ideas and come up with ideas that I think will really sell on the platform that you're selling on. So let's get into step 1 right now. So step 1 is pick a niche. So you can pick anything. In this case, in this video, I'm going to pick Halloween because it's close to Halloween. But if you're having a hard time figuring out what niche to pick, come to my downloads page right here, Detour Shirts downloads. Here's a free holiday niches of the month, and you can look through these every month if you don't know what to pick. Or if you don't want to do holiday things, I also have 100 evergreen niches, literally hundreds of ideas here. So you can pick any one of these, any one of the holidays, anything that you want to pick. Maybe something that you like, maybe there's a sport that you like, maybe there's something that you're a fan of, whatever it is. So step 1, super easy, pick a niche. Step 2 is do a search on that niche. So do the search on the niche for the print-on-demand site that you're doing it on. For example, if you're on Amazon and you're selling on Amazon, you can just type in Halloween t-shirts on Amazon, and here are some results, right? Here are the things that Amazon says that they want you to buy. Whether it's the very top selling or not, you can look at the BSRs if you have DS Amazon Quick View, but just look at what's on page 1. If you're on Redbubble, same thing, Halloween t-shirts, you can see what's best selling on here. Same thing, every print-on-demand site, you can type in the search bar and find out what's selling, what that print-on-demand site wants you to see is their best sellers, or at least the things that are they want you to buy, right? I'm going to use, you can also use apps. I'm going to use Pretty Merch Pro Plus here, if you have that. I'm going in the research tab, and I'm going to type in Halloween right here. And if I type in Halloween and hit search, you can see a grid view of all the top selling Halloween stuff. Now, some of these you can't do, like this Halloween right here. This is actually Michael Myers. Stay away from trademark and copyright stuff. But a lot of these things are great ideas on what is selling currently on Amazon in this case, right? So that's step 2. Just do a search on wherever you want. You can use apps, you can use Merch Informer, you can use Productor, whatever you want to use if you have it. You don't have to use those things. Like I said, you can just go straight on here on Amazon and do a search in the search bar, right? So that's step 2. Do a search for the niche that you're designing for. Step 3 is to look at the top 50 to 100 designs, whichever's on page 1. Usually page 1 has at least 50 designs on there. I think Amazon has 50 plus, and so does Redbubble. On here you can see it just goes on forever. So I'm just going to do the top 60, and what I like to do is actually drag them over to a separate place so that I can move things around. Now this is going to help later with the other steps. You don't have to do this. You can do this mentally in your head, or you can just write down things if you want to, but I like to look at it visually. So I'm going to take these top 60 or so, and I'm going to drag them over to Affinity Designer, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when they're all together. Okay, here I am in Affinity Designer. This is still part 3. You can see I've dragged them all in here and just drag them over. You can click on it and drag and put it into Affinity Designer. And here are the top 60 designs from that Halloween page. And I'm going to zoom in here. And basically you're visually looking at all of them. So I took away all the clutter from that page and I can just focus on design. Now this really helps me because I'm more visual, but if you can just use that page and want to write down things and you use words better, then you can do that. Just have at least 50 to 100 and 60s in between 50 to 100 here, and you can just look at them, right? So that's step 3, and this really helps for step 4. So let's move on to step 4 and I'll show you what I do here after this. So step 4 is looking for connections or groupings with all of these here. So I'm going to show you very quickly how to do this. So it's just like you're playing a game, is you're trying to match things together like a matching game, right? So let's go through here. You'll see this number 1 spot, it's a skeleton. Are there any other skeletons? Yeah, there's one right there, there's one right there, there's one right there. So we have a group of skeletons and I'll put it together on skeletons. Next thing I'll go in and look at the next one, monsters. Is there any other monsters? Are there more ghosts? Let's look for all the ghosts and different things too, right? You can look for like, are there a bunch of vintage sunsets? We're looking for graphic things that we can put together. Maybe there's a big face here. Is there another big face? No, but this is an easy costume. And so are these, right? Just one big picture on the costume. So we also notice that most of these are black. So you might want to do your designs on black for some of these. So I'm going to move over to the groupings that I did so you can see some of the groupings that I came up with. So out of those, I kind of use it visually and put them together in groups. So here are the skeleton groups. Look at all these skeletons, right? These are out of the top sellers for Halloween. According to Pretty Merch and according to Amazon, people want to buy skeletons. There's a lot of skeletons for Halloween. Ghosts. There are a lot of ghost things on here, right? And so on. So these are some of the ones that I found. Ghosts, pumpkins, cats. There are a lot of Halloween and cats. Makes sense. Black cats. People love cats. Easy costumes, like I said before. Skeleton hands, not just the body, but the hands are doing different things, pointing at a cat and stuff like that. Big faces. So again, you can put big faces of maybe animals, or it's not on here, but I'm skipping ahead because I'm thinking about different things that you could do instead of this, right? And Halloween pattern letters. Let me zoom in here and you can see there's Halloween patterns inside these letters. Could you spell something else out with these kinds of letters, these patterns, okay? So that is step 4, just doing all the groupings. So you can do this any way you want. I like to do it again, like I said, visually and kind of put them together. But if you just want to write down and take notes, that's great too. You can do that. So here they are, all the groupings that I came up with. There's probably more, but I want you to find ones that have at least 3 or more, right? Because if it's just one, then that may just be a one-off thing. But if there's 3, then we can see that more people are buying these kinds of things, right? These groupings of things, and that can help you come up with ideas for something that would fit that group. So that's step 4. Let's move on to step 5. So step 5 is brainstorming new ideas for these groups. So we see what's selling here. We want to do something different. We don't want to copy these things, but we want to come up with different ideas that are around this group, around skeletons, for example. So let me show you how I did. I'm going to do them for 2 of these, not for all of these because that would take too long, but I'm going to do it here. Okay, so the grouping is skeletons. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see a little better. So think of different things that people may want to buy around skeletons that aren't here. And here are some ideas that I came up with. Skeleton playing video games. We don't see a skeleton playing video games. Video games are really popular. We can match that up together, right? Skeleton playing football. There's one playing baseball, so of course we could have one playing football or soccer or whatever, right? A skeleton playing guitar. People love music. People love the guitar. Why not put a skeleton with a guitar here? Skeleton walking with Bigfoot. Bigfoot's really popular on print on demand. Why not mash those things up? So we're trying to mash things up, come up with different ideas that aren't here. We don't want to just copy this and, have a skeleton that says never better. Like these two are kind of the same, right? So we don't need to do that. We can come up with our own ideas that's not there. And this is one way to kind of fill a hole in the market, right? After you do this, you're going to want to go on Amazon and see how many people or how many designs have a skeleton playing video games. Is there a lot? If there is, maybe you want to do something else. You don't want to copy people, even though you came up with this idea without looking at a skeleton playing video games, right? So, and if you're having a hard time coming up with ideas for this group, you can always go to ChatGPT and use AI and type in, give me an idea for a Halloween t-shirt with skeletons in them, right? And it will come up with a bunch of ideas, and that's another way to come up with ideas, right? Use AI to come up with this if you can't come up with these ideas on your own. But having a lot here, you can kind of play off of these things, right? Like, here's one with a cat, why not do one with a dog? Here's one that's a teacher, why not do one that's another occupation? Here's one, having on a swing with the son, why not put him on a slide or something like that? Just think of something a little bit different. So that's step number 5, and that's just brainstorming ideas that match these groups. So let me do another one so you can see there's not just skeletons. Here's the easy costumes idea, right? There's a bunch of ideas here. Well, okay, let's see. They did a banana that's yellow. Why not do different fruits? Maybe I can do an apple. Maybe I can do a grape. In this case, you want to do a grouping of stuff, because if it's an easy costume, people usually go trick-or-treating with somebody else, and they can be a group costume or a family costume. Why not come up with something here? Here's a mustard, right? Why not do other condiments that match it? Here's ice. Why not do things that, like, there's ice on here. We could do water. We could do earth. We can do leaves. We can do fonts or text that have those things in it, because that's what this is. There's ice. It says ice, and there's ice on it, right? So maybe you do slime and it looks like slime, right? Here's pretend I'm a superhero. Maybe pretend I'm a different type of food, a different animal, a different thing, right? And again, do your research. Is there one already that says pretend I'm an apple or pretend I'm a pickle? If there is, do something else. Real easy. Different occupations, right? We don't see that here, but maybe there's a simple costume of a doctor or a simple costume of a prince or a cowboy, right? We're just going off of this idea of simple costumes and just think groupings in this case. I think Halloween is a great idea to do grouping, especially Halloween and Christmas, this Q4 time where people may buy in bulk. You might want to think of different groupings. How can I do this in a group or in a series? And that can really help you come up with even more ideas. And again, use that search to make sure that nobody else is doing it, so that you can have your own thing and kind of find that hole in the market. So this is the most important part, I think, is step 5, and that is brainstorming new ideas that relate to the group that's already selling. So I think this is very important, that you're not just coming up with new ideas off the top of your head, you're coming off ideas that have a group that's already selling well in that niche. All right, step 6 is optional, and it's only optional if you want to put words on your t-shirts. Now, a lot of t-shirts on Amazon have words, but a lot of t-shirts on Redbubble and TeePublic don't have words, they're just a graphic. So this is optional. You don't have to have words on t-shirts, but it can help get you sales. So let's do I'm here on Vexels, the quote generator. You can also come up with funny puns on your own, maybe rhyming words on your own, maybe use ChatGPT to come up with ideas. I'm here on Vexels that have the quote generator, and I can just type in things like skeleton Halloween. And maybe you want funny skeleton Halloween. Let's do that, right? And it's going to come up with some. And you can also use some of those things. So we did like a skeleton playing football for Halloween, so we can do that as well and have even more. You can see here, born to be wild, skeletons just want to have fun, and so on. And so you can put these on your shirt with the skeletons. Let's do the one that's more specific. Okay, so I'm going to put skeleton guitar, because that was one of the things that we saw them playing the guitar. So I'm going to hit next. And again, you can do funny or cynical or motivational. We're just going to do it like this. If I want funny, I can do that. So skeleton, rockin' skeleton strings, right? We can draw a skeleton playing the guitar and then put these words in here. Or have a skeleton playing the guitar and put skeleton's guitar shred, or haunted guitar melodies, or whatever it is, right? Tons of ideas. Now that you have the design idea, you can come up with words to match that idea. See, so that's why the brainstorming, these steps go in order, because now that you have the design idea, these words will match that design idea. And this is with research, because we did the research with the popular things that are selling in the niche that you're doing, right? All right, so let's move on to the last step, and that is step 7. So the last step, step 7, is to create designs that people want to buy. And how do we know they want to buy it? Well, we can look at these again and kind of look at the style, right? So this one looks like a label. That looks like a label. Maybe you want to do a design that looks like a label for something else that's not here. So that's different. People are buying label things. You can buy label things. Here it says, pretend I'm a superhero. It's big text on a shirt here using like a condensed font, look like a handwritten font. So maybe you want to use a handwritten font for something else. Maybe it's not pretend I'm a superhero. Maybe it's some other words, but you can do something similar, you know, but a little different. So the style is what you're looking for. People are right here. They have words that have has ice on it. Like I said before, it could be slime that looks like slime or something. So we're kind of copying the same style, but not copying the exact same thing. We're not just doing another yellow mustard label. We're not just doing another banana label. We're taking these ideas now, but doing it in a style that we know sells. Again, back to this, right? We have a white skeleton on a black t-shirt. Doing some things, so maybe people like that kind of stuff, so we want to do a white skeleton on a black t-shirt playing video games or playing football or whatever it is. After we do more research on here, if none of these are done on Amazon, then we can do this in this kind of style, right, where there's no legs here. Maybe it's just the top half of the skeleton playing the guitar, right? So that's what you do. Come up with those ideas. And if you're an artist, I think this will really help kind of guide you on what to do. And if you're using AI, this can kind of help you too. You can start typing in, I want a skeleton playing video games, right? There you go. So you can use AI, you can draw your own, you can look for clip art on Canva or Kiddo and do these kinds of things. So it's really helpful to kind of go in this order, to know what's selling in the market. Use what you have here, these groupings from the top sellers, right? So all in this order, top sellers, group it down, make that niche. So this is kind of niching down, right? You have the Halloween niche. Within that Halloween niche, you have the ghost niche or the easy costume niche. And within that, you have even niching down even further. So you have different fruits of easy costumes in the Halloween niche. Now, it doesn't have to be Halloween. You could do this with any niche, right? We just did it with Halloween, but you could type in there in pretty much for Thanksgiving or for Christmas or for New Year's or for football or for whatever it is, right? Outdoors. This works for any niche. Try these 7 steps, and I think it will really help you come up with better ideas for the print-on-demand site that you're on. Now, it's not a guarantee that it will work, but it's more likely that it will sell because we have the data that other things in that niche and sub-niche that are actually selling. So there you go. That's my 7-step research method. I'm going to share this with you on my digital downloads page on my website. It'll be absolutely free. So if you want to download that just to look at what it looks like, you can do that. I'll put a link in the description so you can find it. Now you can use this again with any niche. And the last thing that you have to do on here is to actually design it. So I'm going to put this video right here on how to design with AI. I did a tutorial on how to do that, where you can find that. Just type in those things like you found with the sub niches. That's a great video to watch. Thanks again for watching. And as always, guys, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.